I have a slogan when it comes to time management. I call it pronto precise. Pronto precise. Pronto means on time. Precise means on point. Pronto precise. I want to appreciate the opportunity, as I was saying, and may I recognize Pastor Chibia, the president, and the director, Pastor Dumisani, and Elder Msonda, the AMO leader. I really troubled the gentleman. I was crying to him, phoning him and calling him to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to be there. I want to be there because I believe that where my species are, I should be found there to flock with them, with my species. And some of you may not know who I am. Let me quickly just introduce myself. My name is Gift Mweemba. The local one is Nene Mweemba. I'm born in Mazaboga district, Chief Mwanajungwala, and I speak fluent Tonga. My DNA is Tonga. My father was Tonga. My mother was Tonga. I didn't learn the language. I sucked the language. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, I sucked the language. So, yes, and that's why we all have what we call the mother tongue. Mother tongue. There's no father tongue. It's only a mother tongue. I pastored, when I started pastoring, I pastored Riverside here. I think I did a year or two. When Ruben left for school, I came after him. And then I went to Livingstone Central Church. And I pastored Livingstone, Dambra, and Hillcrest. Then I moved to Eswatini. I pastored for 10 years. And I had the privilege of preaching to the royal family 3 times. So I know Eswatini very, very, very well. I can speak the language also, not very fluently because I didn't suck it, but I can get around with it. And then I moved to South Africa, Bloemfontein. I was at the union there as a publishing director. Chilembo knows me very well. For about 17 years. And then 2023, February 28, I retired. Last year, December 26, I turned 60, so I'm a senior citizen. Now, being a senior citizen has certain implications. There are certain things that I say which I can't apologize for. I just leave them like that. You know, if you question me, I'll say, but take into account my age. And then my place that I'm working on now to abide, those who come from the southern province and those who drive to the southern province, when you get to Magoe Bridge, there's a place called Village Chicken, but Village Chicken will be on your right, and on the left, that's me. That place is called the V1 Center of Development. There's a project coming up there. Pray for me, pray for us that it comes up. Let me greet you now. When I say V1, you say start happening. When I say V1 again, you say keep happening. V1. V1. Let's give it oomph. V1. V1. Keep happening. If you check there, that's my slogan. You happen, it happens. You don't happen, it doesn't happen. There's no magic. It's just the way you happen because you were created to happen. Manhood is about happening. You can't increase it, you can't reduce it. You were created to happen. And I'll prove to you in the pre-lapsarian section of the Bible. Pre-lapsarian. Pre-lapsarian simply means before the fall. whatever you want to understand about yourself, understand Genesis chapter 1 and 2. That's what God intended you to be. The rest is your makeup. Now I'm serious. The rest is your makeup. According to God, the Bible should be one book. The book of Genesis, 2 chapters. Chapter 1 and 2. That's God's ideal, which we call the prototype, the original. Genesis chapter 3 to Revelation 20, it's us. It's us. So the Bible has 4 powerful chapters. Genesis chapter 1 and 2, we call them sinless. That's what God intended it to be. Then we have Revelation 21 and 22, restoration, to return us to where we were supposed to be. So what is manhood? Manhood is described in Genesis chapter 1 and 2. And by the way, God did not create manhood. He created man. The hood is your making. The hood is your making. And I will explain a little further. A product cannot define itself. No. That's why when you buy a product, there is the manufacturer's manual. No product can define itself. The producer defines it. A product has an essential meaning and a functional meaning. A product. I have a chair here. There are chairs here. I'll give you an example. A quick example. See this chair? If I said to you, give me a chair, you give me a 4-legged thing. And you know I want to sit. I'm not going to eat on it. That's a function. The word chair is a functional word. It tells you what it is used for. But that word chair will not tell me whether it's made of metal, plastic, or wood. No. For me to understand what it's made of, I have to ask for its essential material. Essential simply means what it is made of. Essential nature. And so God created us with the 2 things. Our essential nature, the material we are made of. That's why he starts by saying, he picked dust. That's the material. And a puff of air. That's the breath. That's our essential nature. What does that mean? It simply means, as I'm talking to you now, I'm talking to living soil. You didn't hear that? I'm talking to living soil. Moving soil. It's soil that is alive, which God made. That's our essential nature. What does that mean? It simply means we are materially the same. And then we have a functional nature, which he explains later. And so God simply says, let us make man in our image and our likeness. The pattern is God. The pattern is God. And God is very strange. He makes a pattern of himself, and yet we don't know what he looks like. No. So we all know we are created in the image of God. That's all we know. What it looks like, we don't know. What does that mean? It simply means I cannot sit and define and describe you. I can't, because you are not made in my pattern. In other words, we are just similar products. What does that mean? It means I must respect you. You must respect me. That's manhood. I must respect you. You must respect me. That is manhood. No man is genetically superior. At creation, God did not pick grade A dust and grade B. No. It's only grade A. That's all. So whatever you do and you function does not make you an extra man. No. You are just dust and breath, just like me. What does that mean? It simply means I must afford you the human dignity you deserve. I must do that. It's my obligation. I'm required to do that. God created man, not manhood. Man. And man, dust and breath, that's man. What is the hood? Complications are in the hood. What does the hood contain? You know what a hood is? A covering. The hood contains the beliefs you have about yourself, about man. That is what is in the hood. The hood can be a source of problems. And so my point is to understand manhood, understand man from the point of the producer. You'll be able to handle the rest. That's manhood. You want to understand manhood? Read repeatedly Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Repeatedly. You will understand what man is. And you know that part of the Bible is called the narrative. It's not prophetic. It is what it is. It reads the way it is written. What is in the hood? No, in the hood, there is what we call ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism comes from the word ethnic. Ethnic. Your original ethnicity. Original who you are, where you come from. That's in the hood we have ethnocentrism. What does that mean? What does it stand for? On this earth, every people group believes they are the best people. Every people group. I was in one country and I was in the bank and I spoke English in the bank. I was in a line. The whole line turned to look at me. Reason, in that country, they believe their language is the heavenly language. They believe angels will speak that language. And so they were surprised to find this African speaking a language that is earthly. Ethnocentrism makes a person believe that they are the best in themselves. It is ethnocentrism that breeds division among men. God did not create manhood. He created man in his image and likeness. Ethnocentrism is what leads to discrimination and prejudice. Those should not be part of man. They can be part of manhood because in certain cultures they believe for you to become a man, you must do 1, 2, 3, 4. That is part of the hood. It has nothing to do with the dust and the breath of life that God created from the beginning. So what is manhood? manhood is found in Genesis chapter 1, 26 to 28. In Genesis chapter 2, let us make man in our image and likeness. That is manhood. That is manhood. I was in one country again, and I happened to sleep in the house of a certain gentleman. That gentleman was talking about my country, Zambia. I'm talking about ethnocentrism and stereotyping. Now, we're a group of people. Now, as this gentleman talked, he did not know that there is a Zambian among them. And so he went. You know what we call stereotyping? They are like this, they behave like this is what they do, and what. Now, my friends kept on looking at me to say something. And they had no way of giving this gentleman a signal to say, but we are traveling to his country right now. But the man he went to town about Zambia. And I said, Lord have mercy. What a misrepresentation. I kept quiet because I wanted him to offload. Now I kept quiet so that I can really get an image of what the gentleman is saying. And he offloaded. When we got into our transport, my friends said to me, why didn't you respond? I said, I cannot respond because whatever he said does not reduce or increase me. I'm a man. It doesn't. And so we proceeded. And so you were created to happen. You see that? The happening. You happen, it happens. You don't happen, it doesn't happen. Why do I say that? You were created to happen. That's manhood. Before he picked the dust, you know what he does? He gave you your job description. Let us make man in our image and likeness. And he will. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before he picked the dust. Now, what does that mean? It simply means at creation you were capacitated. Capacitated. If there is a difference in your lifestyle and the lifestyle of others, it does not mean they are superiorly gifted to you. It is simply the way you are happening. Simply the way you are happening. Look at that. XX, XY. That's who we are. There is no XXY. There is no YYX. Equal. God is an equalizer. So, assume your manhood. Assume your manhood. I won't make you stand because the commander is here. I must remain humble. What I know is that as we sit here, no man has 3 batteries. Did you hear me? No man has what? Only 2 batteries. 2 batteries. We are all turbocharged the same. What am I saying? I'm saying, as you walk around in life, in the streets, anywhere else, just know God is an equalizer. God is an equalizer. Whether you have money, whether you have no money, whatever, God is an equalizer. Therefore, claim your manhood. Because you have what it takes. It all just takes XY. Actually, it doesn't take XY. It takes a Y. Just Y. That's what it takes. I wish I would explain, Dr. Kabani, briefly what it means. Okay, I have 10 minutes. I would explain. You know, I usually tease men to say, you say this is an Adventist men meeting, and you think the women are not here. They are here. Where are they? Where are they? They are here. We came with them. That's biology. That's science. You can't argue with it. They are here. We came, even if we left them bodily at home, genetically, they are inside. Do you know why women understand us faster than we understand them? We are not in them. A woman is a pure being. We are not in them. They are XX. But we are XY. They live within us. That's why your wife can tell you to say, you know what? I think you need to sit down and go through that carefully. And you say, why? You know, I've logically... No, they don't need logic. They use intuition. And their intuition is usually superior to male logic. Those of you who are married will understand. And let me just tell you something. If you want to live longer, your manhood, obey your wife. Yes? Obey your wife. She can shorten your life. She can elongate it. No, I'm serious. Your wife can shorten your life or make it longer. So listen to her. You know what? It's just one word. One word. Actually, it's just a question. Who do you think you are? There is no answer to that question. And by the time she has asked you that question, you know she knows your speed limit. You know that. You were created to happen. Happen according to the prototype, the happening formula. Every man must be happening. Blessed, be fruitful, multiply, and fill. God did not put the seed in a woman. He put it in a man. Because you were created to happen. You do not need to happen in order for you to be given, but you need to happen for you to own it or possess it. Read Joshua. I like the book of Joshua. He says, know those words? He says, every place your foot shall step, I will give it to you. In other words, every place where your foot will happen, it shall be yours. Mujitonga tuamba uti jibuye tapi. You know that? Don't relax in your lounge and hope to be something that's not manhood. These two words are important. God says to Joshua, be strong and courageous. Two words. Be strong and courageous. What does that mean? You can be very strong. Very, very strong. But if you are not courageous, you are as strong as an elephant who the lion eats, because the lion, he's on his menu. You see that guy? That guy, he eats this one, he eats that one, and that one runs away from him. What's the difference? He is strong and courageous. Courage is the program that implements strength. Courage is the program that implements strength. As a man, boost your manhood by these 5 buckets. Unfortunately, we can't, it's very pale. You need knowledge. You fill them according to this order. You need knowledge, you need skill, you need a network, you need resources, you need a reputation. They are in this order. The first thing a man should acquire is knowledge. Knowledge. My people perish because of what? Lack of knowledge. If in this world you walk around without knowledge, society will delete you. You'll be deleted. Knowledge. You start there. Do everything to fill that bucket. When you fill that bucket, you have a skill. After a skill, you'll have a network. A network are the people looking for you because of your knowledge and your skill. And you'll invoice them. And then from there, you'll have a reputation. You are known for something. Lastly, you have a reputation. Now, in the world, we have what we call earthquakes, professional earthquakes. When you have a professional earthquake, you lose your reputation, you lose your resources, you might lose your knowledge, your network. But guess what? Nothing on this earth will ever take your knowledge and skill from you. Be careful. Anything can happen. You remember the story of Tiger Woods? Yeah? His marriage blew up. Trouble. Adverts, companies withdrew from him and everything. But because he's a tiger, he went back into the woods to lick the wounds. There is a time when a man should lick his wounds. But woe unto you if you are licking wounds and you have no knowledge, no skill. And after that, he comes back. Give me 1 minute. Just one. Yeah, 1 minute. And after that, you can come back much, much stronger. What am I saying to you? Lastly, I have these resources outside there. When you come out, you find these resources. The happening man, the happening woman. You get the resources directly at the door. Finally, my brothers, with the invisible sisters. God capacitated you. You have what it takes. You are not grade A, you are not grade B, you are just grade A. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gift Mweemba. The first time I met you, I bought a book, Start Happening. Before I could start happening, my wife got the book away from me. Now I understand why you say in their hands we are nothing. I can testify here that I was fed on drugs by my own wife that I have married for the past 10 years. She fed me impwa. I am still traumatized. And I need some serious therapy to recover from that. We continue with the program. We want to sincerely apologize to those who are traumatized by the drone that was flying around here. We didn't warn you, it doesn't kill. I heard others say, Jasiga jitu jaya. No. Winyina jitu jaya is just a drone camera. We are all safe here.